Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wise Tips. Eduardo, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Rachel. Thank you for having me, and it's good to see you here again.
Yeah, it is. It's been a while.
Ooh, I think my impression is that things are going so fast, and
Yeah,
it's. But finally, we made the time, and
yeah,
hopefully, we can make this happen more
yeah.
often as well. Today, I'm planning to hopefully give not only our users but also non-users some good news.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot that's going on. The other day I was thinking to myself, it doesn't really even feel like breeding season because in the past we'd kind of slowed down on the code side, in breeding season, and we're touching so many other parts of the system. Of course, nothing really on some things, but some more minor things on the breeding side. But we're doing so much on so many other parts of the system that have nothing to do with that.
Correct.
That's just, it's been wild. I cannot believe it's already April.
Well, to top that, I would say, from our guys on the reproduction side, we've heard that they no longer have breeding season after
Well,
Easter.
yeah, it's all year.
I feel like the same because it used to be for us during breeding season when we would take a breath and say, okay, let's support and make sure everybody's going well. But now it's coding, coding, coding,
Oh yeah.
coding, new features, and I feel like the ICSI guys. It's year round for us as well.
Well, yeah, and like you said, it just it doesn't stop. There's always going to be something better, something more out there, and I think that's one of the most wonderful things about this company and this,
Yes,
this software is that we're always looking for something better too
true.
to continually improve it.
Yeah, which brings me the first topic. I want to. The first topic is going to be for our current users. Thank you so much for being patient with us. At the same time, optimistic and giving us your support and your trust. Because with new features, there's regression, right? We
Oh,
touch the system, we see little things here and there, and we've been very diligent with our answers to those little regressions, but it's something that I would take. I would pay the price for the little regressions, um, just facing the huge benefit that we have by presenting all this vast new number of features and easier way to maintain record keeping in wise option. So I will take that. So thank you guys for being patient with us. I hope you're happy with that too.
yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So moving next, I would say let's talk about what's coming around the corner. Company's growing.
Yeah,
Uh, we're hiring more people. We are in the process finishing a new account manager. We hired a new network guy. And this second topic goes for wise option users and non-wise option users, likely. And it's about security. It's about uh, talking to people who provide service to you guys. The I already mentioned this several times, newsletters in our communications, but I have seen this happening so often that I'm never tired of touching the subject again. And by that I mean when you're talking to somebody in the support, make sure that it is indeed the company that you are used to. Um, Here in Wise Option, it's a little bit easier because you probably always talk to the same person. We don't have a help desk. It's not a number that you call and you every time you get somebody different. Here we try to be personal. So it's in that sense, it's easier because you learn the voice, you learn, the names, and it's easier. But just like when you get an Uber or you order something, make sure that the person who's reaching out it's legit. Make questions before you start giving away or giving connections. Please double check. And we are now going for the second person, Nicholas, nice guy, and I'm
yeah,
really happy to have him join us. For our current users, uh, you know, talk to Nicholas, get his accent, hopefully not as weird as mine, and his tone of voice. Get to know him just for assurance that you're dealing with the right person, because we don't want to close the door when somebody's already in.
Yep.
So
Exactly. I think you made a really good point with that. And I mean, I get, I don't know how many spam phone calls, every single day. And I have the luxury of most of the calls that come in, they're on the wrong area code from Mobile. So I know that they're spam, but it's so easy that, like you said, I mean, these people that do things like this, I mean, they'll just pick up the phone and say, oh, I'm
yes.
so-and-so from support. And they'll,
It's
oh, Benny.
dog. Just a second. Let me control my dog here.
Yep, you're fine.
All right. I think she is good.
Okay. They, I mean, they'll just say they're from support, and a person may latch onto that and go, oh yeah, no, I need help with, and they just start talking and just start telling these people. And like you said, in the past, these people are trained to do things like this. And it's unfortunate that that's the world we live in. But as Eduardo said, make sure that you are talking with the correct person. Make sure, they say their name, they say who they're with, that, it's the same number that comes in. Little things like that make a big difference. But just please be careful.
Amazes me how creative they become. They come with so many recipes and approaches, and now we have been approached also through, I don't know if it is happening to you, through SMS.
Yes.
It's more and more text messages.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
Hey, Harry, how are you? Just so you type, it's not Harry. Then the conversation starts and they try to get you hooked.
Yeah.
No, be careful. It's been crazy how these guys are doing things there just to consume your attention.
Oh, yeah.
Deviate as soon as you just give them the opportunity. Oh boy, they will seize it right away. So that again, I never get tired of it because it does happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. What's coming next? Let's talk a little bit about new features. I'm very excited about what's coming in regards to updates. Next week, finally, we are going to have launching a version in which the reproduction guys will be able to work online through the cloud with Aspiration Centers and ICSI labs. So the attempt here is going to be decrease and reduce as much as possible text messages, Google Docs, online spreadsheets. We're going to give the ICSI centers and the Aspiration Centers a place where they can go on the browser and update. Not only they will receive what the styling station or Mare Care facility is sending to them, but they will be able to update. And by updating the board, they are automatically updating their client on Wise Option as well.
Yeah.
So streamlining communication, reducing phone calls, and making that's something that I'm very excited about, and hopefully it's going to get people engaged in the very soon future.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a project we've talked about for years, and I'm really excited to finally have a version to get started with that. One big thing, I know we'll have, of course, some documentation on that there later after the feature is released as far as how to use, but I know there's always, right, as always with our users, data privacy and security is always at the top of both of our lists. So I know naturally people get a little nervous when you start saying, well, now you can communicate with X, Y, and Z with this information. So can you just briefly just talk a little bit about, kind of overview how the feature works and how, maintaining security and sharing?
Yeah, first and foremost, Wise Option keeps each client in its own network. So we are not a cluster database. First question, if you're deciding about a new system, is how concerned is the company with your privacy? Are they more after your information? Are they more after learning how you operate, your markups, the type of drugs, labs, or whatever results that you have? Or they are neutral? It's one of the advantages when you work with a company that is specialized in a particular field. So privacy it's a must for us, and that's why we keep not only the privacy, but the distinction that we provide in Wise Option is that you're not in a huge database with everybody else.
Right.
Each client has its own database, each client has its own domain, each client has its own cloud network. So you're not exposed as everybody else. That's something that is huge. Therefore, we are also able to provide better customization on what people can and cannot see. And we give our users a kind of hands-on what they can flag, things they can and cannot see. Of course, it takes a little bit longer for us to get to that point, but then we have peace of mind that the records are being handled in the proper way. So finally, the project is here.
Yes. Very exciting. Well, I'm excited to do some testing on it on our side and also to get our users' feedback on it.
But I think you also answered just a quick overview. It's basically they just go in Wise Option, they create a quick data entry for the art summary card. And as soon as they create the contract, they know who the owner of that contract is. Therefore, the contract owner will be able to see the X-ray for every single, we call X-ray, it's a funny name, but it's the breakdown for each one of the different logs on the reproduction.
Oh, so that's a different feature though, right? So the owners can actually.
That's coming right around the corner, but they are tied together.
Okay.
So that's something that is going to happen at the same token. But the first one is by putting the contract, you determine which is going to be the Aspiration Center and the ICSI lab.
Yes.
And you're going to share encrypted keys with
Yes.
those Aspiration Centers and the ICSI labs. They're going to use that link you're going to provide as Wise Option user, and they're going to open on the browser, and everything that is determined for that ICSI lab, for example, will be on the screen, and they just update accordingly. If there's a new contract, nothing new to do. They just open the same link, refresh the page, the new contract will be there.
Okay.
And ICSI centers, they have several things going on a daily basis. You know, embryos or injected, oocytes are cleaved or are progressing well. Some are discarded. Along the way, every single pit stop along the way can be updated. And as soon as the ICSI lab, in this particular example, performs an update, this tool will automatically send a notification to the client, and in that case, our Wise Option user, saying, hey, something happened out there. They just open Wise Option, because by doing that, actually the ICSI lab, it's updating their Wise Option on the back end.
Okay. So this key they're sharing, is that, do they have to, like, for the, if I'm the aspiration facility and, you know, then I'm sending oocytes to the ICSI lab, if I share that, you know, encrypted key so that the ICSI lab can see, you know, those contracts for them and update, you know, as they get, you know, inject oocytes and stuff.
Correct.
Does the ICSI lab also have to have Wise Option? Is this something that opens on the web browser? Or is this something they put in
It's
Wise
not
Option?
required for the ICSI labs to have Wise Option. It's they can do that, you know, independently, because we want actually to provide the service for our Wise Option users.
Yes.
We're going to make easier for the ICSI labs if they do have Wise Option, because we're going to make those pages available to them.
Got it.
Through Wise Option, so they don't have to open the web browser. After all, they would be already with Wise Option on the screen.
Makes sense.
But if they do not have Wise Option, that is not a constraint for them to be participating in this
That's awesome.
network of,
they can still do updates through the web browser, and that's so cool.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
it's gonna be a game changer, I hope. Because
I have high hopes, because I've been privy to I've seen a few Google Docs and Google Sheets and some text message strings.
Well, I take my hat off to some of these aspiration centers and the ICSI labs, because they're doing a tremendous work, taking into account the type of tool. Remember, they're dealing with multiple clients, different facilities. In this particular situation, are the facilities sending to them the link? So they're just going to have a link per client. And I don't know how they're doing this today, because maintaining the text message back and forward, history, I think it's event logs, you know, accountability along the process, every milestone that is achieved for every single record, because in Wise Option, every single oocyte receives a number. So it's very easy to you know, trace back everything that happened. I'm very excited about that one.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you got me. You said next week, right?
Next week. It's done. Yes, we are already testing. The developers are done. We should have for our internal test tomorrow. and I'm going to put in your hands by the end of the week. So if I get your quality approval seal, then we're going to, find a couple of users beginning next week that would work to be our mentors and test. And along with that, probably we're going to have also some suggestions for the mobile app. That you remember that this first round is going to be only for the desktop, no mobile app yet. Usually, mobile app is the very last one.
Yeah.
Because mobile app is just an extension of the desktop. So that's how we understand that. But it is going to be a big advance, and along the way, it's going to come other things. With the same mentality. My plan is to give more and more whiteboards, integrations through browsers, and making easier the communication process, not only with your peers, partners, but also with your customers. For example, just like you mentioned, the next round is going to be how many straws do I have in my frozen semen inventory? How many embryos do I have from my, in tanks? Every time they pop up with that question, it's another spreadsheet they have to generate. They have to create,
even just
compile.
Report in Wise Option, they still have to go to the one owner. I mean, that's like 10, 15
Hours.
clicks to get,
Hours of
those
work that
reports.
we might be saving per week.
Yeah.
So this is something that I believe it's going to be good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm excited. And I know we have a lot more coming too.
How about
on the repro side? Oh, yes. We finally heard, we got them. We have a meeting this week with them, right?
So for the racetracks, we would like to let you guys know that ICSI, contact us, and we're going to have our first meeting. There's still a long way to for us to go through. Yet it's a good sign. So I'm going to stop there because I don't want to present any kind of advanced or let us have something concrete. But I would like at least to give the good news. The contact, the bridge is made, and we're going to start working right away.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What next? Because I saw the list of new features you updated the other day.
Well, let me see here. If I look at my screen, we have Tech Collect.
We're working with
Tech Collect. It's another integration that is coming. The mobile app, we're going to revamp the layout. We're going to improve that sense as well. There's one feature that I had planned for this year. I honestly thought we had some Microsoft last minute things during Christmas, New Year that really put me on the delay for certain items. I thought I would be able to implement the integration for shipping requests through the cloud as well this year, but I decided to put a halt on that one, at least for July, August. Unfortunately, that one is going to be one more breeding season, but 100% sure that next breeding season, shipping to facilities will be able to request shipping for semen to styling stations through the web browser. No longer needed for them to do. Like I say, goes hand in hand with what we are trying to accomplish. We are trying to connect the dots, shorten the distances, decrease, the number of hoops and loops they have to go through for communication purpose only. So,
well, and just like what the feature, right, is slightly smaller than what we just mentioned, but I mean, still very memorable there. The new feature we recently made there to expedite the process between pending shipping requests and production as well. And now it's a right click instead of having to recreate the whole thing.
I would even mention that there's a good chance that our users in the South Hemisphere, when the breeding season starts, actually August, September, October, should have a good chance to experience that module.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. What else? Let's see here. The security, the privacy, and I think we are trying to improve also our network connectivity for support. We are trying to be very responsive. We are going to be implementing new tools that should make even easier for our users to get a hold of us. We are, open to any type of preference in communication. We don't care if it is phone calls, text messages, emails, support tickets, all the above. We try to be on top of things. But one extra that we're going to provide is going to be for our users to get in contact with us from their mobile app. So they can raise the case right there. It's coming. It's already reality. We are still in the phase of designing and testing the algorithm, creating all the possible bets for that program. But it is going. It is going. And as soon as we talk, the subject is about easiness for our users, that makes me excited.
Yes, 100%. And especially when you mention the mobile app, that just makes me so much happier, right? Because everyone has a phone now. I mean, and especially, anytime we can, decrease, oh, you have to go to the computer and you have to do it here on the computer. Anytime we say you can just do it from your phone and have, anyone be able to, if they log in, they can do it. They don't have to have, access to the account information, on wiseoption.com or anything like that. They can just go right to their mobile app where they're checking off treatments or adding in procedures or taking pictures right there.
Last but not least, I also would like to invite everybody to check our library. I am aware that you have put tons of new videos out there.
I have, yes.
So please, guys, go there and check it out. There's always, and for my pleasant surprise, a good chunk of users who like to be part of that do-yourself modality per se. And the videos, we are trying to put, all the corners of the program, shortcuts, hints, ideas, suggestions through those videos. I usually say, if you put an hour every other week, we promise you that you are going to save an hour per week, just making that investment in time. And who wouldn't like to have an extra hour for the pressure we have in our workloads? Yeah,
no kidding. I mean, if that's one more hour, especially, when that hour comes in handy is on Fridays. That's when that hour comes in handy, right? No one wants to. Who wants to stay late on a Friday?
So true. Yes. Well, from my end, I think this is it, and I'm really, happy to see how things are moving. It's long past the time it was only me in the company. I feel it's still strange to look at the list of our current clients and not identifying some of the new names. It's weird.
Yeah, right. I saw that made me giggle the other day too. I went to someone and go, "Can you remind me which?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, because you're not involved in every single." Isn't that?
Yeah. So there was a time it was a one-show man many years ago, but we are here because of our clients, because of their suggestions, and I'm always thankful to your trust in everything that you have done for this company. So whatever it's in my power, we're going to keep going to deserve your, trust and attention. So thank you so much.
Sounds like a plan. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out. And we look forward to talking with y'all again soon.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.